Imagine waking up alone in the wilderness, no shelter, almost no food. And somewhere beyond the trees, people from your own tribe are waiting to decide whether you are strong enough to lead them. You have one chance, fail, and you don't become the next chief. You become irrelevant, maybe even dangerous to keep alive. It sounds like something from a prehistoric nightmare, but here's the uncomfortable question. Did early humans really choose their leaders through brutal tests of survival? The answer is stranger than the myth. Because prehistoric leadership probably wasn't about simply being the strongest man in the group. It was about something much harder to prove. Whether people were willing to follow you when everything went wrong. For thousands of years, humans lived in small communities where one bad decision could mean hunger, conflict, or death. There were no police, no courts, no standing armies, no government powerful enough to protect you. If another group wanted your hunting ground, your crops, or your water, your tribe had to defend it themselves. And that changed what people looked for in a leader. Strength mattered, but so did courage. Experience mattered, but so did the ability to make decisions under pressure. And sometimes, violence probably played a role. Archaeological evidence from prehistoric settlements shows that conflict between human groups was real. Injuries on ancient skeletons, defensive structures, and evidence of violent deaths all tell the same story. The ancient world was not peaceful, but there is an important twist. There is little evidence for one universal ritual where every aspiring leader was starved, beaten, and forced into deadly combat. That dramatic image is mostly a modern reconstruction. The real selection process may have been much more subtle. Imagine living in a small tribe. Everyone knows you. They have watched you hunt. They have seen how you behave when food disappears. They know whether you protect weaker members, or abandon them. And when a crisis arrives, nobody needs a ceremony to discover who can lead. They already know. This is where something fascinating happens. The qualities that make someone powerful are not always the qualities that make people trust them. A physically dominant man might win a fight. But if nobody follows him afterward, his strength means almost nothing. Human evolution may have favored cooperation for exactly this reason. Our ancestors survived not because one individual could overpower everyone else, but because groups could coordinate, share food, protect children, warn each other about danger, and punish individuals who threaten the group. Leadership, in other words, may have been less about becoming the strongest predator and more about becoming the person everyone believed could keep the group alive. But there was still another path to power, violence. Across human history, ambitious individuals have sometimes used intimidation, alliances, warfare, and control of resources to gain authority. And prehistoric societies were no exception. Once agriculture appeared, the stakes became even higher. A hunting group could move. A farming community had fields, houses, stored grain, livestock. Suddenly, there was something worth controlling. And that created a dangerous new possibility. A leader no longer had to earn power every day. He could inherit it, protect it, and eventually force others to obey it. Archaeology gives us glimpses of this transformation through ancient settlements, weapons, fortifications, unequal burials, and growing differences in wealth and status. The simple tribe was becoming something more complicated. Power was becoming permanent, and that may be the darkest twist of all. The brutal part wasn't necessarily a single ritual where one person fought until everyone else surrendered. It was the slow transformation of leadership itself, a role that may once have depended on trust, skill, generosity, and courage could eventually become a position worth killing for. And suddenly, the question wasn't just who is strong enough to lead. It became who is willing to do whatever it takes to stay there. Thousands of years later, we still recognize that question. The weapons changed, the cities became enormous, the rules became complicated, but humans never completely stopped competing for status, influence, and control. Maybe that's why the image of the prehistoric warrior chief feels so familiar. Because beneath the myths of ancient leaders, something much more uncomfortable. Power has always had a price, and sometimes, the people who pay that price are not the ones who hold the crown.